We're talking Claws, Quicksand, Season 1, Episode 3, and we got Evan Daigle in the building. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Bitch, you can fuck with me if you wanted to. These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes.
What up, AFTERBUZZ? This is your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for the Claws AFTERBUZZ TV After Show.
He's getting it. For those
I'm joined in
podcast.
studio by Jeffrey Graham.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? Jeff Graham here, AfterBuzz TV host extraordinaire. If you guys want to find me online, you can do so at Jeffrey C. Graham.
What's up, guys? This is Mariel Turner. You can find me on all social media at Mariel_Turner.
It's KFJ all day. Twitter, tell me what you say. It's your man Chaos Jones. Twitter, Chaos_Oceans31. Instagram, let's go.
Boom, and I always be forgetting. You guys can hit me up at DJ Jesse J and hit us up right now. Tweet us at AfterBuzz TV because we have a very special guest here live in studio. We got Uncle Daddy's Lil Pat, Toby in the building, Evan Daigle. Welcome for joining us. Yo, congratulations on the show. First
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to you because Toby was actually only supposed to be on the show for one episode.
Right, I auditioned for what was supposed to be a one scene, one character episode in October of 2016.
Wow.
And then whenever we got greenlit in January, I got a call from my agent and she told me that they wanted me to film some reshoots from the pilot and then come back for some scenes in season 2. Some scenes in episode 2, and then I just kept getting invited back each week, and I'm gonna be in 9 out of the 10 episodes.
Say what?
Nice.
That's what's up,
Yeah.
man.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's why you're always nice to the PAs on set, right? If they like you on set, they'll
Right,
keep bringing
yeah.
you back.
They're
That's
like,
awesome.
bring him back. He's nice. He brought
And
me
you're
Starbucks
talented.
yesterday.
I don't
Yes,
want to
and
imply.
your talent.
Yeah, we don't want to
Exactly.
imply it, but
Well, yeah, and so you took this role very seriously, and you did a lot of research for it. Now, the interview I read, you couldn't really talk about because the show hadn't come out yet.
Right.
So now that we see the character, like, what kind of like research and development did you?
I
do for
still can't tell you exactly the sort of very extensive and very specific research I did because we have not seen Toby's arc
We have
just
not,
yet. We
and I
really
know it's
haven't
coming.
seen much, but
this? Which is so interesting that they were thinking to use that scene only in the first for the pilot, and then to build off of that character because
Right.
that was such a noticeable.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, from my understanding, a lot of times, especially with these brand new network shows, they'll cast the pilot with sort of we don't know if we're gonna get picked up. We're just gonna cast actors, write these characters, set some things up, and then we'll see what happens from there. And I guess that's what happened.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much.
What has your reaction been and your family's reaction been kind of watching and seeing it back?
Oh my gosh, my family.
Because I'm assuming you've only seen the first episode, like before it had came out.
Correct.
And then
Just
now
the
you're
pilot.
watching it
Right.
live
I'm
with-
watching it live with everyone. It's been great. I honestly, I know everyone says I would watch the show even if I wasn't in it, but I really am not even in it these first couple episodes, and I'm loving it. It's so awesome. My family's cracking up. This is the character, especially as you see him develop more, is very much of a departure from who I am in my regular life, and so it's been really, really educational and entertaining and fun just to make it all happen.
speaking of your family, Evan, I have a question. I come from a small Midwestern Christian family. If I were to tell my mom that my first role was playing the young lover of a bisexual strip club, maybe coke addicted drug lord, I don't know how she would
It
react.
might be my father.
Right.
How were your parents on board immediately, or do you feel like
It's interesting. I come from a really small town in South Louisiana, but interestingly enough, my parents, I decided to start acting whenever I was 20 years old, just 3 years ago. I'd always been really creative, really into visual art, but I had never taken the leap to try theater, and it was always something that I wanted to do, and when I got to college, I did it. And I remember the first play I did, my parents came see me, and after, they were like, you can act. Like,
They were shocked.
well, it just was never anything that was something that I expressed interest in as a child, and that's usually how it goes. But I don't know. It's just a form of expression that just feels so natural to me. And so my parents have been on board ever since then.
Great.
Ever since they really saw my passion for it, and I have not stopped obsessing over this job, this career, and this path since I started. And so when Claws came along, I was nervous for them to see me scantily clad but they don't care about the homosexuality, they don't care about the nudity. They're so proud of me and just excited.
It's a great show. So
Yeah.
of course they're proud. Yeah.
Hey, all right, so we're gonna go through the episode a little bit and kind of get your take on some of the things that going on, your experience that's kind of been on set.
All right.
So we start off. Virginia, she is in the hospital. She had came at the end of the funeral.
She crashed the funeral, right?
And she makes
She's such a mess.
She's like, I think her and Pauly are like twins.
I think that Pauly sees that little bit of, I see what you're doing because I do it every day. You can't fool me. Yeah, no, and y'all are gonna see that specific relationship develop a little bit more too.
Okay, that's
Well, I was late today, and I almost used the excuse of getting tied up in the middle of the woods on a toilet with my feet covered in peanut butter,
With
but then the
farm
show,
animals?
Totally, isn't
So
that
I
just
couldn't-
your go-to
exactly.
story?
Right, especially emphasis on the peanut butter on the toes.
Yeah, so
I
but
feel like
decided-
Virginia just thought that the more specific details, the more believable, but that's literally probably the opposite thing that you should do when you're trying to come up with a story. So.
But that goes. We've been saying how last week where we saw Desna go to her little hotel room and saw the candy and whatnot. The fact that the writers are giving us these little openings of like, well, Virginia has this childlike mindset, and that today, I feel like is like, girl, peanut butter on your feet, like pig growls,
Barnyard
a rooster,
noise
chicken,
thing.
like-
No.
Well, hold on, wait though. Can I say this? I was actually rolling. And when I say I'm rolling, I wasn't doing drugs.
That's what I was
mean, no. Like I'm rolling, like I'm rolling with you. I was rolling with her, even when she said the peanut butter on the toes.
Really?
And then she said that, and I'm gonna explain why.
Okay.
She said they they put the peanut butter on the toes, and then she heard like a pig, and I'm like, okay, well technically it's probably a warthog, but whatever.
No, they have hogs and shit like that in Florida. It's real.
I mean,
Okay,
the croc wrestling.
Either way, I was like, okay, maybe this was like gonna be, where it was gonna have something to do with it actually biting and trying to eat her feet, and that being like a form of torture. So until she started adding in, Old McDonald's whole farm, I was on board.
See, I'm like, we're not watching Game of Thrones. Like, why do you have a pig eating the peanut butter? Like,
But see, I thought it was like a clever way of torture. Like, I mean, there's been
first of all, why you was believing that this actually happened?
Well, no, I mean, I knew she was making it up, but I'm like, damn, this is good. And then when she included all of the included all of the other animal, I'm like, okay, stop. You lost me. Now you're doing too much. But I've seen crazy stuff where they'll put something, they'll slather, somebody up, and then they'll unleash some rats or something.
Yeah.
So that the rats will eat into them. So
Watching
it
Fear
wasn't. So it wasn't that. No, it's like an old
I'm just
movie,
teasing.
but I
Like
can't
some
remember.
medieval torture.
Right, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Okay,
My
maybe.
Vidster.
I figured that's what she was channeling.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know she kind of was, but she kind of just went off. Like the more she kept going, it just got dumber and
in
dumber.
that car, she drives.
Yeah, she lost me at peanut butter, and I was like, girl, this story is not believable. But okay, keep going.
I gotta say, shout out to the director and the writers, because when that burlap, when she talked about how she could see through the,
I thought that was a funny part too.
And then they showed that,
And they showed the switch.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just
That was
like,
hilarious.
Also, shout out to Karuchi, who's killing it.
Yes.
Oh my!
Isn't she doing such a great
Amazing.
job?
Amazing actress.
Y'all. And filming that scene, the opening scene of episode 3, Karuchi's she's the sweetest person ever. She's really outgoing, and always whenever we're working, we're usually filming, especially towards the beginning, like funner stuff, whatever. That day, it was just such an attest. That was the first day that I was like, Karuchi Tran is a good actress.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
I was this close to her. I saw her do all of her preparation before, and then whenever we got into that, we shot that scene for 7 hours.
Wow.
Wow,
She
she's amazing.
she was very adamant about doing her off camera for us to give us the same energy. And you guys don't know how rare that is, especially with actors and people who are celebrities. They just don't necessarily, I don't want to call anyone out. No one on our show does that, thank God. But that's a thing, you know? It's it just shows the care that she has for her craft, and she is doing such a great job. It's awesome to see.
Like to work with this group of, talent. We're going into it. You know, there was a lot of people this is obviously Carucci's kind of bigger
right.
Platform right now. People were, this was going to be a testament to if she can actually act,
right.
and how's she going to handle working with actual actors and whatnot. But honestly, the chemistry on set that we keep seeing, I think it would probably be hard for you guys to leave set at the end of the shooting.
It's funny. It's, in my experience, it's just simply more easy to act with actors who were talented. I'm here with you. It doesn't feel like there's cameras and right. shit. It feels like I'm in a scene with Polly because it's Carrie Preston and she's a master. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just reacting. I'm not I know everything that's happened with my character's backstory. So in TV, you never know what you're gonna get next week. And so for me, I just really figure out what my character has done previously and then just let myself be with these actors in these scenes. It's been such a mentoring experience. Niecy Nash is very adamant about if any of us have any questions, especially Carucci and I, to come to her. Cool. She's the mother of the pack. It's great.
I live for it. So, speaking of mother, on the flip side of that, we got Uncle Daddy, who was at this croc wrestling situation. Okay, is Chip like a legit detective?
Obviously not.
Okay, well, I don't know.
No. Yeah, it's true. Obviously not yet. You guys don't know. I forget. No, yeah, it would seem, you would be questioning it at this point. Maybe I just gave something away. But I think that a lot of people have gotten the vibe that he's not the most law-abiding detective.
Well, it was just like when he flashed the badge, I was like, what party store did you get that from?
Yeah.
Oh, see, no, I didn't even get that vibe. No, I was just like, the way he flashed the badge was almost like you would see like a thug flashing his gun, like, yo, we got a problem.
Yeah. It just sign that he's clearly not a cop.
Yeah. Right. Well, in my mind, I was like, okay, maybe he can be a detective. We've seen some rough around the edges detectives before.
Hard pass.
But I'm just like,
I watched too much Shades of Blue in SVU though.
Right. I was just like, maybe he's just he's got a little shade to him, and we just haven't seen it yet. But yeah, there's definitely. He's not 100% on the up and up. I'm just waiting for, the true...
You don't give me Chip from the 80s.
Right? I'm just waiting to see the true colors come out.
Yeah.
And then, so now we're looking for Titus because...
You mean Titus?
Titus.
You mean Titus?
I was so upset with her when she said...
Wait, can I give away a little funny thing about that?
Yes.
It was... I think that was such a confusing thing on set. No one knew if the frickin' word was Titus or Titus. And so actors would say different things, and then we realized that, like, we said this here and this, and then we had to be like, have a little... the word is Titus, everyone. It was funny.
Nice. I love it. All right, so we're looking for Titus because Carucci read that off a bag and added it to his story. Which blows my mind that Chip, clearly, not a real detective because couldn't Google the word to say, hey, this is a product. You know what I mean? Maybe we should search these people, and that will bring us around to something. So he's on it, though. We get on the flip side of that, we see Dean, and I really love I'm starting to really like Dean's relationship more because now the fact that he wants to get into bodybuilding. I feel you, Dean. I'm on that same path right now. And he wants to use Arnold Schwarzenegger as the North Star for this. And he uses Quiet Ann. Well, Desna uses Quiet Ann to
be his trainer. Yeah.
This was fun. I liked this choice, and I'm getting a better sense of who Dean is. I feel like I've been a little slow to get on board to understand exactly, what kind of character we're specifically dealing with, like kind of cognitively, I guess, and it's all kind of adding up, and it shows you what an amazing performance we're getting, because it's kind of a long game performance, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's really adding up for me, which I'm so excited to see. I'm excited to see more.
And especially just him with Quiet Anne, because I think that also is so telling of, okay, well, she opens her mouth and talks when she's with, like, she understands the empathy and the, that endearing side.
Right, and I thought it was interesting that some of the heaviest dialogue that we've seen with Quiet Anne has been that scene with Harold's character.
Yeah, I loved her in that scene, and I loved seeing her character kind of open up, because she's been so quiet the past episodes, and I'm like, okay, what is going on with her, you know? And to see her open up to Dean, and then later on talking about, with the girls, I was like, oh, I love you.
I know, what a shocker, right? Yeah.
Baby. So Polly.
Well, didn't you say last week? Was it last week or it was last week? Because last week is when she
when
did
talked
the
to little
community
girls,
service,
right? Yeah, okay.
You said last week, or it was you or Jeff,
hypothetical.
that she was possibly a pathological
Yes.
liar.
Yeah.
100%.
And I think we got that confirmed this episode.
Definitely.
Are we sure she's lying?
Well, no, because her story is never the same. At least
She
with
has to
Virginia
be.
is consistent. Virginia's like, the pigs were eating it. They were licking my toes. Polly's like, and maybe she just has all these stories.
We don't
But, like,
know.
her
All I'm
story
gonna
just-
say is wait until next Sunday, and that will be you'll know.
I live
you'll
for
know.
Polly.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
my
I do
favorite
like
character.
Polly, too.
My favorite
Yeah.
character.
But I liked her in True Blood as well.
I
That's
mean,
the
yeah.
first time I was introduced to her was on True Blood, and I liked her character on True Blood.
And then
so,
to see this role is
and I'm just like, oh, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Because I like her.
I
Right.
feel like she has to be a liar. I mean, there's no way all these stories can make sense without that.
The thing I love about Polly is I feel like the kind of white, not uppity, but kind of this type of character rarely interacts with the crowd she's interacting with.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's
The
like,
chemistry is the friendship is so real that like she parties with Desna. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
twerking at the club.
she goes to shishis.
It's
all
like
the
me
time.
on this panel. It's great. I love
It's like you don't fit, but you do.
But I do.
Right.
Oh, you're Polly.
Thank you.
I'll take it. I love it.
So Polly really was worried for Virginia.
I
She was
know.
worried that Virginia might be pooping black due to internal bleeding. And this is something that she does know, as the Amish women walk in asking about anal bleaching.
Right.
It was just a really great one after the
And
other.
I was really I wanted to see more of that, and we
Of the
didn't
anal
get that.
bleaching?
I was gonna.
No, not necessarily.
I was like, bro.
I mean,
those
granted, I've
characters.
never seen exactly how that works either. However, no, I just wanted to see more about those characters because that was just so random. And why would they, in particular, want their cavities bleached?
Yeah, I agree.
That's a good question. I mean,
I think that's a spinoff right there.
Let us know in the comments. Why did the Amish women want their cavities bleached? Let us know what you think. Tweet at us.
Man.
All right, let's talk about this clinic now because obviously Toby is a part of the family, and so we go. Roller was in charge of the clinics and kind of doing the whole runarounds.
can I just jump ahead real quick? I'm sorry. I can't wait. What was that pill that you gave her?
Percocet.
Okay, thank you. That's all I want.
That is
Percocet.
Wanda's preferred pill. And Dale and I decided that with Elliot Lawrence, the creator, like early on. He asked her what pill does Wanda like, and she said Percocet for sure.
Nice.
Yeah.
There it is.
That, man.
Know your character.
Crushed it on up on in there. All right, so let's talk about this clinic. So we get Roller, he's gone. So then we get Uncle Daddy wants Bryce to be in charge. Like really bad, wants him to be in charge. Which is interesting to me because there's kind of 3 other people that he could technically utilize. I mean, Desna's right there, kind of right by the store. I know she's not really fully involved, but it's kind of the closest thing to it, and especially if you're offering $10,000, which
But see,
I also
but
think is
Desna-
shady. He'll never offer her that much money.
You're right. Exactly.
True, because she's a woman.
Yep.
Exactly. Not only that, but finish and then I'll say my piece. Because no, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Okay. Not only is it's one of those things where you volunteer something knowing you'll never have to pay up on that bet or that offer. You'll never have to pay in on that. Yeah, one, we know he'll never give that amount of money to Desna although she's more than deserving of it. But 2, he ain't gonna give that money to Bryce.
Wait, okay, but at first, when we first saw it, you didn't believe that he was. I was sold. I was sold that he wanted Bryce in the family, and he wanted him to. Like, I was sold on that.
I was sold on that. However, I knew even when, you know, Bryce kept trying to put his foot down and say, look, like, this is only going to be temporary. I knew that he was like, okay, he's just agreeing to get him to say yes. I knew that he was going to figure out a way to manipulate him to get him to do this long term. However, what we get to see, I did not see coming.
Yeah.
Right.
But I knew that there was going to be some form of manipulation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't understand as a businessman why he would want Bryce to run the clinic, because he's clearly not a criminal. Like, this is not his forte.
I'm like, Toby's over here literally passing the drugs out. He knows what Wanda needs.
I just don't understand, yeah.
I think it's a credit to Dean Norris's acting, though, that like we didn't necessarily know, because Uncle Daddy's so in one scene he's this, and then the next scene it's
We don't know anything. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like,
in the best way. I mean, like, it's such a special performance.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel.
been super interesting to get people's reactions to his character, because it is so he's this and then he's that,
Yeah.
but I like it because
Right.
it's multitudes, and that's humanity. You know what I mean? And it is a testament to how good of an actor Dean Norris is, because that's what a good actor does.
Right.
But I think that it's interesting what you say. Why would he want Bryce to? Because he's a recovering addict. I think that just shows you how much Uncle Daddy really does value having those that he loves in his family around him, because it is a pseudo family. None of us are like really related. So I think that we're gonna get to see.
Thank you for clearing that.
Yes.
Right.
We were
Yeah.
trying to figure that out.
At first
Yeah.
we thought you and Roller were related, and then Bryce was kind of like the odd one out. Like,
Right. No. It's all very confusing. But Uncle Daddy is Roller and Bryce's uncle and daddy. So, but uncle not like best guy friend of your dad growing up kind of
Yeah.
thing. I don't really.
Play uncle.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sit on my lap, Uncle.
Yeah.
And then Toby was just kind of brought in as a little puppy boy.
Well, yeah, no, it's been really interesting, though. I think that it's super progressive to show a character written like Uncle Daddy contain the multitude of being openly Catholic and openly bisexual, and actually having this sort of polyamorous relationship between Uncle Daddy, Wanda, and Toby.
Yep. So. And then even, I mean, not that there is, the relationship he has with Desna is so interesting to me too, because it's a love-hate relationship, but it's starting now, there's almost like a trust that's building because he doesn't have Roller.
Right.
And that is kind of his last connecting piece.
Are we
to
sure he
Roller.
doesn't have Roller though?
Well, no. But I'm saying
right now,
in his mind, doesn't think he has Roller.
We'll see for how long.
Because Desna has Roller. Desna have Roller,
Right.
but rolling between the legs. Yeah.
Hey,
In
man.
this episode, I was like, you better get it.
I was
girl.
low-key a little confused because I was
Yeah.
like,
I
oh,
was
wait. I was like,
very
wait.
confused.
Oh, actually, no. I was like, oh, if this show's gonna go like this right now, and like Desna's been working with Roller this whole time.
I know, dude.
I'm like, go ahead, TNT.
My lips are sealed.
Yeah.
All right, so Virginia lying more and more and more about being at this store and on the payphone, and she called her roommate, who, why would you ever tell them about your roommate? Because relevance don't need to be talking to nobody
Right.
at all.
Don't drag her into that. She didn't do anything.
Right.
But I think that goes to show again, what's the word I'm looking for?
The child.
Basically, yes, because she is, I don't even know if it's naive though, but just because she is so young-minded that she's not thinking long term, the significance of what she's saying, like
She's
how
sort of
that's-
excited by the stories
Right,
that she's
yeah.
telling.
Yeah.
It's
And
like
it's
I have Desna, who's like we're together. It's weird. Yeah.
Right.
I want to know what.
and then at the same time, I feel like she's also, she's consistently trying to impress Desna and
Right,
get
yeah.
her approval, because even after the whole, the corner store situation, she's like, oh, now am I the hero? No, I'm sorry. Just giving,
like,
randos
you suck some
Hummers.
dick and
Right.
get $25.
Does like no.
And I think a big part of that is her craving attention, or maybe this ties into, you know, her mother dying
and wanting that approval. Think about
that approval, that maternal figure. So I think that's a part of it too.
Now am I the hero? No.
And I think that a lot of Karuchi's backstory for her character and character homework really is showing, because we're sort of seeing like something going on behind her eyes, and it's like she's giving us backstory. It's honestly, I'm just like so proud of her performance. It's awesome.
She's great.
Yeah, she's
really
great
good.
job.
Yeah.
Okay, so now with all this drama going on, Desna does have this thing that she wants to do. She wants to open her own nail salon.
Right.
And she's been going back and forth with this agent, Mandy, who I got to give her, she's a great actress, because when every phone call, I
You hate
love
her.
or love her.
Hated her.
I've been hating.
When do you love her?
I was gonna say, like, 'cause
this
I've had
episode-
0 time for Mandy.
She showed a little bit of humanity.
A little bit of
a little
humanity.
at the end.
But it was like also like it's just I mean where I want it to go. I hope Desna gonna like turn Mandy out and like really like show her the other side. I felt like I saw that when she was picking her little chopstick noodle things out of the
Right.
So Mandy basically says, "Sorry, girl. Like Miss Kimchi ain't helping it, ain't about it. Like she don't want your kind around here," which we all know what that's term for. And Desna was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna show up at your event." So she shows up at her event, pops up on Mandy. Mandy was like, "Sorry, girl." And then all of a sudden, these girls were like,
how she did it too.
These girls were like, "Oh my God, your nails!" And Desna was like, "Girl, this is what I do. Like, don't worry, it's in the hood, but just come on down." And showed up in front of Mandy, and that's how you book a gig, people. You know what I'm saying? You don't throw shade at Mandy. You say, "Okay, Mandy, let me talk to your clientele and pull them in." And what happened? They had a whole little drunk fiesta. They got their nails done. Shishi and everyone was up dancing on the poles.
I wanted to go.
And not only that, but then Mandy even admits, like, you know what? We had so much more fun than we would have had if I would have just, you know, did my own little plan. Exactly.
I love that the show let this scene breathe a little bit.
Yep.
It's a really dense show, which is fun because there's a lot we're wondering what's going to happen. But my favorite scenes, episode to episode, are just the girls hanging out.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just that like beauty shop cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, like that scene in this past episode where Jen is trying to convince Desna to help Bryce.
Yeah.
Like,
know.
oh my goodness, their chemistry is electric. It's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then talking about the new
New
edition concert.
Right. She's like, that was the best night of your life, and I facilitated that.
It was so real.
It was so natural. Yeah.
Jen and
real.
Niecy,
Like, I believed it. I was
real, like it's their real friendship is so reflective in their characters. It's awesome.
Yeah, sometimes like in shows, I think like the best friends can be kind of boring, but something about the way they played that scene, I just so believed.
Well, it's like every character in this has so much mystery behind them.
Yeah.
And it's like you a testament to talented actors, because you literally see everything in their face. Like, okay, yeah, you're delivering, you know, the acting on television, but then at the same time, I'm looking past that and I'm like trying to figure out what the story is going on in your head. And I don't do that with a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And I think it's also because we have a lot of mediocrity on TV, but that's fine. We don't get done. Not over here. That's why Claws out.
And another thing is when they were having their little, you know, girl sesh, that in the salon, she had said something about like the black country singer.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
And then I was thinking like, because she said something about getting busy with him, but then he, you know, had
Jamal, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
at least sounds delicious. I was like, oh, okay. But she had said something, so I was like, is that where her daughter came from? We kept trying to figure that out. So I was like, okay, she rode that mechanical bull, and she kept riding it until he got locked up. And
So them eggs were shaking and stirred, baby.
hey, man, how you like your eggs? Fry the fertilize. Clearly, it wasn't fried.
Well, wait a minute, hold up. You make me hungry. Speaking of eggs.
Speaking of eggs, Denny's has always been a place where America can come get their favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner dishes, serving their guests whatever they want, whenever they crave it. Well, now they've got a hot new app, and it's called Denny's On Demand. They've basically taken the same always open philosophy that is synonymous with their restaurants, applied it to online ordering, bringing access to your craveable diner fare wherever you want it, whenever you want it. Basically, thanks to their new platform, guests have a quick and easy way to place a mobile or online order for takeout or delivery of all menu items. That's not just a select menu. That's all menu items, all day, every day. And if that's not enough, 24/7 having that, you get a 60-day trial for Hulu. Like, say what? 60-day trial for Hulu, the premium streaming service, with the premium package for 60 days.
Wow.
Like, who gives you a 60-day trial?
I've never even heard of a 60-day trial.
Me neither.
Right?
It
stops at 30, I thought.
Like,
You get an extra.
and Hulu wasn't even giving out 30. They were giving out like 7. So for a limited time, users who place an order with Denny's On Demand, they're going to get that complimentary Hulu trial, and they'll be able to enjoy their favorite meal while binge watching thousands of hit shows, premium original content, films, and so much more. So with Denny's On Demand online ordering, it's right at your fingertips, people. Visit Denny's.com, click to order online, download the app. It's available for Android and iPhone, and, you know, get that moons over my hammy or whatever tickles your fancy. Woo!
Yeah.
Speaking of hands and tickling, so I love the comment where the girl comes over to Desna when they're sitting in the thing, and she said, "Hey girl, I've been meaning to ask you this all night. Can I touch your hair?"
Oh, that spoke to me.
No.
That actress is one of my good friends, too.
And I love how when she was making out with Quiet Ann, they were like, "Oh, it looks like her husband." Like,
Oh, it's so funny. She told me the best part, obviously, of working on Claws was making out with Judy Reyes. I was like, yeah, you looked like you were liking it, girl.
But yes, I love when Desna said no. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, and that's-
Please
yeah.
don't touch the hair. Just
Yeah.
a PSA.
And you know,
Don't do it.
and you know what's funny? Because I get that too. And see, I'm nice, and I'm nice,
Really?
and I don't want to be nice. I want to be like, no, don't touch my hair. Because most
just
times,
say watch
when
Claws.
when
I wanna
people do that,
interview- I just wanna
they
interview
palm
a
it,
person
and then it's
who-
all messed up, and I'm like, ah, like now I have to go fix it. So I agree too.
like
'cause
I would just
do have a
love to
little hair.
interview someone and just be like, what? Why? Like, you just
Right.
Touch
But
But now
like,
there's a place to go. Just be like, watch Claws episode
Yeah,
3.
episode 3, watch it. That's
You
your
can just
answer.
gift that and just send that to the.
I think it's something to do with like people like using that and being like, I'm cool with you. Let
Yeah.
me touch your hair,
For
and it's
sure.
like you don't get it. You don't get it. Like
Yeah.
That's so strange.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, that's where we found out Desna dated a married man whose wife didn't appreciate that. Quiet Ann was married for 6 years to a linguistics professor at
Hilarious.
Yale who both screwed his PA. So a little more to her backstory. She's out here, y'all. All right, so this clinic though. Again, another good actor, Kenneth, because I can't stand him. I don't understand why he's working at this clinic.
Yeah, he's so anxious and crazy. I don't. Why'd they hire him?
And
I don't.
obsessed with his ex-wife. Like, sir, please
He's
calm
so
down.
funny though. I love Jason.
He is hilarious.
He needed reassurance from his mom.
He's so, I'm like, are you Persian?
That was so funny. That was so funny.
Is he supposed to be Persian? Or
Yeah,
something? Okay.
Lebanese, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I was just sitting in here like, this is... I know men his age that do that.
Yeah.
And, like, even when he's like, oh, my God, someone has a seizure. He's going crazy. He's like, all right, Mom.
That was an intense scene. That seizure. The show, tonally, you're just like, whoa, do I laugh? It's like so
Right.
interesting.
Elliot Lawrence and I, the creator, were talking about it the other day. I was telling him that I was watching the pilot with my parents or with some friends of mine, and they were like, or the second episode, and they couldn't believe that Desna and Virginia were disposing of Roller's body in broad daylight. They're
Yeah.
like, everything is happening in broad daylight. And I was telling Elliot that, and he was like, yes, that's what I want. I want this. So I want people to just feel like this isn't supposed to be happening in these circumstances, but it is, and I like watching it.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, because it's such a departure from a lot of the formulaic, you
For
know,
crime drama. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You know, usually everything happens at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in reality, it probably doesn't always happen at night. You
Yeah.
don't always. It's not. Oh, I want to shoot you in the face, but I'll wait till 7 o'clock.
Right.
That's not how it happens.
And because it happened in broad daylight, we could be thinking like,
Who else saw that?
Like it could be
Right.
the most. It could be them Amish women. Could just it came out
It
like
could have
you thought I
been.
came for the anal bleaching, but girl,
I got your number.
and I know your tea. All right, so Mandy's back, Team Desna, and Uncle Daddy calls everyone for a meeting. While they're out at Chi-Chi's, we get to this meeting where Uncle Daddy basically says, y'all lost $88,000 a month. So I'm going to need that back. And this was obviously a part of his grand plan to pulling over on Bryce and whatnot, lock him down.
But even Jen had said that before this all came down. She said, you're going to be indebted to him or indentured.
She knows her man. She love him, but he's a little soft spot.
Yes.
So everyone has to work this off, and the next day we see Jen. She's mad at Bryce, so she goes to this Jewish line dancing center place, which interesting because I'm like, who's that guy?
Yeah, I was like, what is the backstory there? Like, is that her side boo? Is that
Oh,
a
no,
past
I don't
love?
think- honestly,
or is that just a friend?
You think
I'm
it's
gonna
a
be real
stranger?
naive on this one, and I don't think there's anything to that.
I didn't either.
I think
Okay.
she just wanted
Maybe not now.
something to take her mind off of all the crap that was
Right.
going on, and it was just fun, and she didn't have to think about anything.
You don't think
It-
there was no hand touching during rehab?
Nah, I don't think any of that.
Dosey doing?
No, not at all. Not at all. I think it might have taken her back to a place that she remembered, belonging to a church or something like that when she was younger, and she just wanted a little bit of that, and that belonging, and that that sense of church community. That's all I took from it. I didn't think like, oh, she about to give her some Jewish pain. Like, none of that crossed my mind whatsoever.
I'm also really good friends with that actor.
Nice.
Okay,
New Orleans,
cool.
too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great, he did a great job tonight.
He did. He did.
I thought he was
He's in
romantically
more.
swooning.
That's all I'll say.
Nice.
So
Hooking your friends up.
I could very well be
I
wrong. I could be wrong.
I'm actually with you, Kelly, on that one too.
Right, I really just didn't see. I didn't really think that
Honey,
there was anything behind that.
Drug addict. It's stressful.
But you also, let's look at the fact that apparently they had both quit smoking.
Yeah.
I
And-
loved that scene too because
Yeah,
it just
it was
shows
so
their
real.
friendship
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Bryce is like, nah.
I'm mad at you and I want to support you, but bitch, I feel you.
Right. Yeah.
That was cute. All right, so she goes live dancing. We find out that Uncle Daddy's the one that actually robbed his own clinic, which, okay, fine if you're going to be the big bad guy and you're going to rob your own clinic, but never use your own stash. You don't take your own medication.
Yeah, don't get high on your own supply.
That's
the
it.
10 crack commandments right there.
Sir, so this is going to turn into something crazy. I can't even imagine past that, so...
Oh, no, go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Nope, finish it off. Go ahead.
It's Kelly interrupt day. I'm sorry. No, go ahead, because we got predictions coming up. So
That's right, so let's head on into it. What predictions?
wait for it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Prediction. Go ahead.
All right,
You're
predictions.
going to come all late with the light.
Woosah. All right, let me breathe. Okay. I believe that Desna is going to somehow, some way, she's going to find out about the double crossing with Uncle Daddy and setting up this whole robbery scheme. I feel like
You feel like she's going to be the one.
she's gonna be the one that
she's.
I think she's gonna be the one that's gonna find out, because I think she's gonna see that there's more to this, and it sucks because now he's figured out a way which is pretty manipulative, is pretty genius, but it shows that he's a master manipulator. He's now got Jen, Bryce, and Desna all locked in. Like, they're locked in now. So them being able to just be like, well, I don't want to do this anymore, I'm pulling away, that's not happening, because you got to run me that money now.
Do you think Mandy's going to get pulled into this too, in that sense? Because now I just think about it, she is a big player. If she comes into this, she likes money. Uncle Daddy loves property and building clinics and to get it into a nicer neighborhood and situation.
I think Mandy is too
Removed.
remove. What's the word?
White.
Maybe.
I just think that she
Sometimes
would
those
never.
are the easiest ones to
I know.
manipulate.
I just don't think
She
that
wants an adventure.
she's gonna want to associate with Uncle Daddy or anything that he has going on.
So you
like,
think she's fully just that her storyline is fully just to get Desna into?
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
that's
think
what I
those two. Though I don't think that's gonna miss.
She's in it a lot,
Those are
though.
gonna miss.
She's in the show a lot.
And there is something about the scene with her pulling. It's either she's gonna be Desna's hero, like I feel like there's
destroyer.
something bigger of some sort.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
leaning
this-
towards Destroyer, but I don't know. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she'll
see.
I hope she's gonna stay Team Desna. I was really upset with her just in the way that she was so quick to dismiss Desna in the first place after that one bad experience with the secret shopper. So that kind of turned me off, and I still wasn't even really Team Mandy even after, you know, she was like, okay, like she was seeing how Desna does have something, and Desna has a plan. She has she actually has a blueprint to what she wants to do. Right. And she didn't really believe that she had that. So you could see that she was like, oh, wow, okay. And she was really impressed with Desna. However, I still feel like she's still a little fair weather. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that she's 100% on board with Desna yet.
I think what I really want to know, and I'm sure the audience wants to know as well, is Roller dead or not? Because when he came in at the end and they started getting it in, I was like, wait, is this a dream? Was he like secretly hiding in the house this whole time? Like, what is happening here?
So then my question to all you guys is, let's pretend he is alive. Who do we think would be the first person to know? Who do we think Roller would go to first, realistically? Because he's in a power move. If we want to get into the writer's brain, he's in a power move to where maybe he didn't like what he was doing, or maybe he wants to live a different life. Maybe he's gonna enjoy being secretive. Desna, over Uncle Daddy.
Yeah, because because you talk about power, and in my mind, he'll never have more power than Uncle Daddy. Uncle Daddy will never let him get more power.
You think Roller would go to Desna on some like help, or like to kill Desna because she tried to drown him?
I think if they were all working together and she really didn't try to drown him and that was all like some master plan or something, then he's going to go to her. If they really did try to kill him, he's going to go to Uncle Daddy, I think.
Okay.
So do we think that was... I mean, like, we don't know.
No, I think that was a dream. I think she just dreamed.
She wouldn't have reacted that way.
That would be... Yeah. This would be the sickest... show if he came back just to fuck like on some like, yo, you tried to kill me, girl, but I still need some of that.
I mean, it's Niecy.
I mean, I feel like that's really dark. If we're but I mean, hey, we got Toby sitting on.
What do you?
Yeah.
So I was just about to say. What? Well, wait. Before we even get into what you think, let's do some Toby predictions.
Oh, I believe Toby's gonna be like a dominatrix. Like Toby's going to be a ringleader of some sort. I believe you. I believe Toby's gonna step up.
Either that, or he has a plan too, and he just hasn't gotten a chance to start to lay the groundwork. But you know, when he's got Uncle Daddy's ear,
I was gonna say
he's gonna plant some seeds.
He has Uncle Daddy's trust. He has his ear. He's in the bedroom.
Right.
I think
trust fund.
he could definitely like lay out his little plan. And I'm not sure what it is, but I definitely think something's gonna happen.
There's more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
What was one of your favorite scenes filming that experience-wise?
There's one that really stands out whenever people ask me, and you guys will see it in episode 4. I can't give it away because the network would kill me, but what can I say about it? I had to train for it.
Are you with any of the other characters?
Yes, I'm with Uncle Daddy and Jen for a part of it, but I am also with some new people.
The tease.
The Russians, maybe?
Ooh, Toby's in it with the Russians.
Oh, I can say this. Toby gives Uncle Daddy a very extravagant perforance.
Oh man.
So this was like a physical...
Right, yeah.
Drag and whatnot. Okay. All right, so next week we saw that there's a lot of conversation of paying Uncle Daddy back. So I wonder if it's okay if it's $88,000, so $10,000 should automatically get knocked off, right? Because that's what was supposed to be paid.
That seems fair.
You know.
But then again, does Uncle Daddy play fair?
No,
he really doesn't.
No.
So
I don't know if there's ever going to be like actual tally count to that $80,000. But I do think that Desna is going to be for sure be the catalyst and leader to try and get this money together and figure out where she can get that from because she wants to help her friend Jen. And then we get this girl Sally showing up to the store who calls Polly Heather.
This is weird, but like knowing all the things that Polly says, maybe Sally thinks her name's Heather.
Maybe her real name is Heather.
Yeah,
and Polly's just an invented like something she thought of in her head.
Yeah, it could be. What did I say? Just like
if Heather actually is like a made-up story that she just told, like this woman just someone she met at a bus stop, and like she told her this whole thing, like, and they could use that as that would just be like, there's Polly, Polly Pocket. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I called it Orange Is the New Black. That character in season 1, the pathological liar. I can't remember her name.
Lorna.
Lorna, yeah.
Yes. I don't know.
Well, either way,
But yeah, it does.
I'm gonna give myself a little credit right now.
And it's funny with that scene with Toby, Wanda, Uncle Daddy. It gives me like the energy, a darker version of Arrested Development.
Ooh,
Okay.
the dysfunctional,
the dysfunction, the comedy, like that. And I loved it because
screwball.
Yeah, we haven't really had anything that tone on TV for a minute, and so it was nice to kind of get that back. Okay, and then I also want to talk to you about you have this you work with this charity called Happy Hippie.
I donate to it.
Okay, and so obviously this is a LGBTQ.
It is. It's an LGBTQ charity, which they provide aid for gender non-binary and homeless youth and other vulnerable populations. I don't work directly with the charity, but that's the charity that I like to let people know that I personally give back to.
Cool.
That's amazing. And then working on this show now, you guys have wrapped up filming and everything. Right?
I wrapped on Thursday of this past week. Carrie wrapped earlier in the week. It's right. They're
I think still in production.
They are. Yes,
Wow.
we had to push another week. We were supposed to be done on the 23rd, but I think that they have like 2 or 3 more days and then we're done completely.
I'm surprised you're still shooting. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, what have you kind of learned from this? I mean, like being on set with all these actors, like what have you kind of pulled aside from this to go move forward?
I've honestly, this has absolutely been the biggest learning experience of my life, not just for acting or for a career, just like as a person. Because the way that I view acting is that it's always a continuous process of processing your life experience and trying to grow to get to a place that you're comfortable enough with yourself that you will allow the humanity of these characters to like be you, literally. So I think that this experience really just validated that sort of like acting theory that I had, because I hadn't had that much experience with this medium. And getting to work with I also just love that I'm getting to work with adult actors on my fair show. I know that that's kind of maybe a weird thing to say, but there really is something to be said from getting to learn from actors who have been acting for 40 years. Like, you know what I mean? It's just great. I've learned so much how the business works. I've learned the politics. I've learned the personalities. I've learned how I want to act on a film set, behavior-wise, and how I don't want to act and treat people. I can't say enough about how much I've learned.
Cool.
Has anyone on the cast given you like some great advice that kind of stuck with you?
It's funny. Niecy sat me down in between camera setups last week, the second to last day before I was wrapping, and was like, "What's next for you, baby? Like, what are you doing?" Like, I know that. She yeah, no, it was great, and she sat me down for 45 minutes. And I told her I was moving here. I told her I was trying to shopping myself around to agents and all of these things. And she sat me down and gave me such specific advice about auditioning in Los Angeles. She told me how she started her career. We talked about the first 10 little roles that she got and how she was being put into a box and she knew it, and then she would do this and this and this, and then she would be put into this other box because people just saw that she was so talented at one thing, and then she did Getting On, and it was like, oh my god, Niecy Nash is a master. And it's those conversations that I get to have with these phenomenal artists are something that I can't even put into words. Like, it's so valuable, you know?
Yeah.
And from someone like Niecy Nash, you know? Crazy.
And then, what's your experience been like being out here in California for you?
Well, I literally got on my plane this morning, and today's my first day in Los Angeles officially. Moved here today.
Welcome.
Thank you.
He didn't get lost on the way here.
I didn't know. I told my publicist that I was like made sure to get here early because everyone scares me. I'm traumatized by all this. Yes, all this talk of traffic. I'm never gonna be late for anything. I'm gonna leave 3 hours early. But I've been flying back and forth from LA, and for like pretty much all through shooting. And I've spent like a significant amount of time here, but I'm so excited to live here for real, escaping the humidity of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And you get to walk right into our 104 heat.
Oh, I know, it's true. It's so hot here. It's unfortunate.
Welcome to the valley too. So Evan, thank you for joining us, and we'll give each other a shake in a second. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations on the show.
Thank you so much.
Where can everyone follow you?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Evan Daigle, EvanDaigle.
Boom. We want to thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Now, again, we want to know what you guys think. We want to read your plot lines, your storylines, what you think we thought was crazy, what you think is crazy. Write it down below. We're going to add a segment starting next week where we're going to read your comments and the predictions and whatnot. You guys can keep in contact with me and hit me up at DJ Jesse J.
Yeah, and if you guys want to find me online, you can do so at Jeffrey C. Graham.
What's up, guys? You can find me online at Mariel_Turner.
Chaos J, Twitter, Chaos_Oceans 31 flavors of waviness, baby. All day, hit me up. Don't be shy. I talk back.
Ow. All right, and also make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV across all social media platforms, and subscribe to us on iTunes. Rate us 5 stars. 4 if you don't really care for it, because the rest of them don't work. But you know what I mean, hit us with that 5-star. Till next week, same time, same place. Peace.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.